Hello, everybody. We're trying new things in this little corner of the world. We're moving around in cameras and finally have ourselves kind of set up. And I feel my walls are very naked right now with a lack of things pinned all over them. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Kelly. Oh, multiple Kelly. Look, one day Henry Cable will make it. Today is not that day. Hello, Akiko. It's someone I forget which one of you guys sent this wig. I know it's I know Kelly Zerker. I'm mispronouncing your name more than likely. I apologize. I know Kelly, you sent one this week and it's delightful. There's so many of so many fuzzy things for my head have arrived this week, and I can't wear them all at once. But anyways, someone just Rudy just said nice spectacles. You know what, my kitty ear spectacles have brought me for so far. Hold on a second. I just want to take the little this off the screen. Now that you guys have obviously all found the place in the universe that you guys are going to watch this at. Hold on, just throwing that back on there. If you guys haven't subscribed already on YouTube, where I'm obviously putting all of my content now. Yeah, that's the thing I've been doing. One day I will YouTube more. I've been trying to TikTok more. That is a thing I've been doing. I've been by doing more, I mean put out 2 more TikToks. I'm trying to not fall into the into what I could very easily end up doing, which is Zerker. I got it right. Yeah, all that those months of German that I took during the Duolingo early on in the pandemic have really paid off. But yeah, I've been I've been making an effort. I've been putting in the hours on TikTok to attempt to branch out into my into new quarters of the internet, of the social medias. So I just saw your old homeopathic video from Australia, and it's, oh my god, whew, that feels like forever ago. I mean, it was forever ago, but Jesus, I will accept Psydog TikToks. It's, maybe that's the platform where Psydog is supposed to shine. It's the place where he's gonna go. Thank you, angry young man, for the Twitch verse. So it's been an interesting few days here. So fun thing that happens every time I write about nuclear fuckery, as it's kind of accidentally been gotten the title here. There's always someone very mad about the fact that I didn't just say story with nuclear is nuclear energy good. Don't ask any more questions. That's the story of nuclear energy. That's all there is. It's that seems to be what some people want out of my storytelling on nuclear energy, which unfortunately, that's just not how it's well, actually, thank you, Ryan. Look, I try not to call people out for what I might perceive as mansplaining, because I never know, I never know if someone actually does have expertise in a field. Because there was one time when I called someone out for mansplaining in chemistry, and it turned out they had a PhD in chemistry, which meant they were better qualified than I was. So, it's why I try never to it's why I never try. I try to not accuse of the mansplaining unless it's very obvious. But even then, I'm like, someone else in there someone else will spot it if it's mansplaining. But yeah, the big the thing that hello star the thing that was that's been rough with these is, like, I try very carefully, and I try to make it very clear that I'm in favor of nuclear energy. I try to make it very clear that it takes a long time, and it's are people trying to still is some Richard Loomis, I see you saying it's nuclear. No, it's nuclear. I'm just saying, these are arguments that I have to have with. There are other people closer to me that I have to have this argument with on a regular basis. I'm not having it here. Nuclear. One way to pronounce it. Anyways, but it's weird that people can see the way that I write about this, see the very carefully crafted just narratives that are not like that are not written out to in any way uh, say that like these are not written to say nuclear is bad. Like I've never presented the our history of nuclear accidents with with by saying these accidents happened and so we should never do nuclear. It's like these have happened and these are a historical thing at this point. Like it's going into the SL1. Hello, Rich. Going into the SL1 specifically, they don't even make reactors like that anymore. And I thought it was important to go through each of them, like, and very carefully say, hey, look at all the things that built up over years and years and years and years before they got to the point where there was a nuclear accident. And I think if you just look at the articles, and this has happened a few times now, my God, nuclear. I've never seen advocates for a position that were so good at shooting themselves in the foot as nuclear advocates were, because it's just it's this you said something bad about her boyfriend, so everything you said, like, dude, your boyfriend crashed the car, man. I got to tell people about it. Maybe it's like he's a better driver now, but this time he crashed the fucking car. Tickling the dragon's tail was a wildly bad. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. They knew, the dragons. It's the demon core or tickling the dragon's tail is, and I mean, I wrote about that one a while ago. Like, they knew it was a bad idea. I believe it was Fermi who said, "Yeah, this son of a bitch is going to be dead within a year," and indeed he was. And that's the thing. It's not. It's not that. Hold on a second. Eyeball itchy, eyeball itchy. It's not that nuclear. It's not that the punchline of all this is nuclear is bad. It's that there are ways to handle nuclear so that it's safe. And we have a history that involves people not handling it safely. Oh, Kyle Hill just put up a really good one on Chernobyl. Well, that means I can't write about Chernobyl for a while because there's dibsies on when you can, like there's the unofficial law of internet dibsies, and I'm trying very hard to to not overlap on his nuclear stuff. Like there tends to be a don't overlap by 6 months rule, but like God damn it, I'm writing about nuclear stuff and so is he, and I can't, like, I'm sorry, Kyle. It's just I'm cutting the no dibsies rule down to a month because we're covering the same thing. It's either way. If you're enjoying the nuclear fuckery series, go check out Kyle Hill's Half-Life. Jesus, what I'm screwing up the name of it, but it's Half-Life Histories, I think is the name of it. They're brilliant videos, and I do watch them before I write mine to make sure that I'm not saying, like, we're going to cover some of the same shit, obviously, but I try to make sure that it's Adam. I went up for Community Day, and my first thing that I did was I'm like, I have to send Adam a gift because I'm going to get a message eventually from him on the chat. It's if you guys. I'll put up my numbers for Pokemon Go out here because I have a few people. I have a few slots open, but I have 2 Pokemon Go accounts, and I still play. During the pandemic, I stopped for some reason. I didn't play anywhere near as much, but yeah, I'm on there, and I'm still going out on community days, and I'm still trading, and I'm at level 39 on one of my accounts, and I'm gonna get up to level 40. Wait, let's see. Where was I before I so rudely interrupted myself? Take a drink, Starling. But yeah, Dibs should account of his current event. Well, I mean, no, Dibs don't count on current events. I mean, like, I feel like internet Dibs is like, hey, if it happened 70 years ago and you randomly, and like someone did it yesterday, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it, like, it's Chernobyl's a big enough event that I feel like there's no internet dibs on Chernobyl because it's fucking Chernobyl. But like the SL1 reactor, for instance, like that's a thing that I was like, all right, it's it's not obscure, but it's also not, it's not Chernobyl. It's like, all right, I wanted to make sure I didn't do things like that, the same week that Kyle did. So it's like, if I see that he's done something, even if it's like on the list, if it's like, all right, I want to make sure it's not the exact same month. Like it's another one that does a lot of content that goes over, big historical disastrous things is Simon Whistler, who has, God, how many fucking channels does he read copy on? But I mean, all the stuff on his channels, they're highly informative. And try to make sure, hello, Jim Mermick. I try to make sure that I'm not covering the exact same stuff as any of these guys because they do really good content. And, you know, they do really informative stuff. And it's like sometimes I'll go through and take notes from theirs, but I always make sure after I've taken notes that I'm not writing any of the exact same turns of phrase, that kind of stuff. Like you can't, like it's, I'll use it for content, but afterwards, here's the other thing. I will go through and fact check everything that I see in one of their videos. And if I can't verify something that I hear in one of their videos, I won't put it into one of my articles because I have one day to, you know, I give myself one day for these. Sometimes I have things that I have banked, but like I have one day to write these. And I know that, you know, especially for Kyle Hill's videos, he takes a long time. And I don't know if he's a one-man shop or not, but, you know, he takes a long time for these videos. And if he, I don't know if he did interviews, I don't know what his process was for this. So me having, yes, Simon is like half of YouTube, my God. And he's so good. But yeah, like I don't want to just like, I don't take what they say as, you know, as fact, even if I'm sure that they verified it, I have to verify it myself, every last thing in there. Like I need to get a primary source, not a YouTube video, even if it's a YouTuber that I trust. So they're a great resource for things that I want to add in, but like they're also not, you know, they're not a primary source and I never treat them as such. So, but yeah, like go again, like I know I've been saying this for a while, go, if you haven't checked out Kyle Hill, his, like, it's funny because I don't like his other videos quite as much, but like the Half-Life histories are just, I fucking love the style in those. And like the other stuff I like too, but like I also don't love like kitschy science video. Like I'm super fucking picky about the YouTube stuff that I like when it comes to it being like teachy, sciencey, infotainmenty stuff, and like whatever it is about the style that Kyle Hill is using for the Half-Life histories, I love it, and it's so completely removed from his usual style, and it's funny because it's made me like his normal videos more. So, anyways, it's Adam Brown said, just swear a lot. Nobody swear. I do what I can. James Fell is the closest person to swearing like me. So, but yeah, I can't just swear. It's funny. I think I swear less now than I did when I first started doing all this. But it's like it's more targeted swearing. Like there's a whole process. Side note, also in call to action, plug for all the things. If you like all the you know, the magic, the moment of science, and you would like to see behind the scenes here, if you want to come and be, if you want to join a little bit of the writing weirdness, once a month. So we have two patron only live streams. One of the patron live streams is we're chilling out, we're gabbing, we're doing we do, as we call it, patriotic prank calling, where we call some elected. We always do one thank you for your service, where we appreciate the work you do call, but we call the Ted Cruzes of the world and the Mo Brooks of the world, and we leave appropriate voicemails for them. We're as nice as they deserve. Anyways, but the other patron only live stream that we do each month, and if you're here, you obviously enjoy these shenanigans. The other Patreon only live stream that we do each month is we do a live editing session. So basically, we yank out. One of the moments of science as I'm in process with it. So after I've gotten like my first pass of editing, after I've done all of the after I've done all of my research, and you don't have to sit there while I'm trying to verify, you know, if we were still using leeches in this particular year of our Lord, you know, where you get to the point where we're like moving things around, and you guys get to not only see but be a part of, and do give me some input while I'm playing around on making this into the final product. So if you're interested, if you want to help support the Dog and Pony Show here, go to patreon.com/SciBabe. Be a part of the Dog and Pony Show. And also, there are going to be some giveaways next month. There's some more Emu Bunny gear behind. One day I'll learn left from right. See, Emu Bunny gear. I'll be sending out some postcards next month, and there's going to be some. for the first time, I don't have it on my list because when I'm crocheting, it's like the one time that it gets in the way. But yeah, it's where I'm working with withings. I put the details out on the giveaway, I believe yesterday, in the post on nuclear energy. But there are some. I'm doing the giveaway with withings where we're giving away 2 blood pressure cuffs, 2 of the really fancy pants scales, and 2 watches. So if you're interested in any of that, head on over to my Patreon. And of course, I'm sending out postcards and maybe some more here. Anyways, it's as an Australian approval. It's funny. Somebody yesterday, of all the things to be accused of, was I was hold on a second. Let me just I'm I'm perpetually amused by the things that people think are a thing in my life, or I don't know. I just a thing that was commented upon on Patreon. And look, I don't. It's thank you for subscribing, Richard Biedrum. It's someone. So it's the comment here. It's I know. Look, I want to be clear before I say this. The reaction regarding Australia from fucking everyone. I mean, I think there's been one complaint, maybe, and I don't know if complaint is the word. It's more like somebody asking, why do you dislike Australia? And once I told them, no, I love Australia, they're like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. The comment, and this is I'm not going to go through the whole thing because this person was mad about something unrelated. And they said, I don't know how much of this sort of pushback you get. Maybe you're on edge from all the Australian zoologists who write to defend their fauna. Oh. Hold on a sec. There we have a guest. Science Dog, what news do you bring from the dog front? Oh, that's very important. Nose polish, I was out of it. You just need to make sure. There you go, tiny dog. Tiny dog does whatever tiny dog does. He is a good science dog. He is a very good science dog. Yes, you are. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But yeah, it's hi Ari. But yeah, that was there were some other look, I'm just saying I have yet, this is the first time I have had a patron flounce on me to such a degree of someone saying that I just being that mad. I did not know what to do with that. But it was they were quite upset that it was they were, look, nuclear advocates are their own worst enemies, and it's always interesting to see what happens when somebody is upset that you're not just giving nuclear energy the a nice big old ball washing. But yeah, he thought that I was primed to be sensitive from all of the pushback I've been getting from Australians. Australians are the nicest fucking group that I've had in terms of response to this column. Hold on a second. Kiko has bingo here. That patron went nuclear over nuclear. It was now, here's the thing. I am once again asking you for your support. It's yeah, that now here's the thing. I want to be clear. It's Russell saying the rest of us will just have to up our donations, right, guys? It's that patron was paying a generous amount per month. I'm not gonna lie. They were one of a very small handful of people who paid a very high amount per month, which I appreciated a lot. But here's the thing. As I said to some of you guys who are over in Discord. And one of my team captains, Akiko, Russell, Ryan, as I always ask, please drop the link to Discord. One day I will remember to put the link to Discord in the description here. Instead, I just like asking team captains. This is what I'm declaring it now. But Shit, where was I? Again, one day I will stop getting lost in what I was planning on saying midway through a sentence, but not yet. Oh yeah, this the guy. Oh yeah, here was what I was saying in Discord earlier. This it's even like it doesn't matter how much. Oh, it's Russell saying he was paying more than me, which I took personally. Look, like here's the thing. He paid that 1 month though, and then left. And like here was the email to like again not reading it, but in the email he said you can keep the money I paid you last month. I'm like I was planning on it. It's you weren't gonna get that back, motherfucker. That's not how this works. Amanda, you can be whatever you want with water on the team. You're in charge of the H2O molecule for the team. You're our H2ologist. It's Russell deserves a promotion. Cheers, man. It's it's are we like do we have a person in charge of Muppets for the team? I just need to make sure. Do we have a person in charge of Muppets and in charge of Avengers? Is that one position or are we combining it? I need to know. Like we also need a person in charge of emus and bunnies. Like just work it all out. Keep it going. So, anywho, oh damn, invite link is broken. I will fix that as soon as I'm off of here. Like you just gotta pull me back in. Pull me in. Discord doesn't have moderators, but it goes. I'm really I'm impressed. Oh, the door is opening, and I believe that's my husband home. Ooh, I should start taking clothes off. No, but I am right, Ryan. Look, you overshare, but you overshare in a way that has not made anyone be like, I'm gonna leave now. So it seems to be a comfortable level of oversharing in the community. Now I'm happy that the Discord server has become a self-sustaining. Nobody's being a dick. Everyone's hey husband. Everyone's being really fucking cool, and you guys have turned it into a really nice little cozy place that I feel like I can tell anyone on the internet. Oh, you're looking for a community? This is a place where you'll feel. Or let me phrase this: anyone on the internet that I would want to hang out with. I feel that I can tell them this is a place where you're going to be safe and cozy and you're going to have a good time and there will be people with cool shit to talk about and they're going to be into it's like I love you guys so much. It's been cool to watch it turn into a little community that operates independently of me even when I'm not there. It's like I show up and you guys have just been gabbing away for the last bunch of hours about it's every time I get in there there's a request for another forum. Recently we've added a body modification forum. Y'all, I'm so touched by your weirdness. And your weirdness is touching. Anyways, Minister of Aqueous Distribution. I feel there needs to be a higher. Let's see. There can be. We'll get there. Minister of Aqueous Distribution. I like it. I think we can do better though. Is that a painting of a rabbit riding an? Indeed, it is a painting of a rabbit riding an emu. They even have helmets. Hold on. Oh, I also wanted to show you my dress. I'm priding on out. Priding on out. Yeah, I'm having myself a happy little Pride Month. Also, it's hard to tell with the lighting, but the wig is kind of kind of an ashy purple. I'm going very colorful the month. Hold on a second. Let me give me. It's being strapped into this thing. I'm like, how far can I roll with it still strapped? But I realize I can just take it off. Not always smart. Even better than a shirt, Akiko. It's a sweater dress. Sorry, a sweatshirt dress, which is I could live in these and be happy. But indeed, I am so happy, and I look at the little riding crop, the little crop. Isn't that so cute? And so, anyways, this I know I posted links to these a couple weeks ago. There was basically hold on a second. So I'm sending out I'm sending out postcards with with the emu bunny, the emu bunny cavalry on it, and postcards with that design. That all kind of happened, kind of accidentally. Somebody who reads the column regularly tweeted saying basically someone tweeted saying they'd read my article about the emu war, and then they'd read my article about I'd done an article about whatchamacallit, Australia's war with the bunnies, because Australia just keeps going to fucking war with any creature that the Brits brought over that they shouldn't have. So they're like, yeah, I read this one on the emu war, then I read your thing on Australia going to war with the bunnies, and now I have a picture in my head of bunnies riding into battle on emu backs. Can some artist please breathe this into life? And Bill Bushman, is a person who was following the page and is obviously a really talented cartoonist, just kind of a few hours later tweeted out, I just whipped this into life, and posted that, and it was like, oh, it's perfect. It's fucking perfect. But I had to stop myself from, and I was like, and a bunch of people were like, can you put it on a t-shirt? And I was like, Bill, please put it on a t-shirt. But now we're working on, like, I'm going to use that design as part of my book cover. I'm working with Bill. Like, I'm not like taking it being like, but like I'm working with him on other stuff. There's another design he's working on right now that's like, because Australia is also at war with their mice and their cane toads, and Australia is at war with Australia. It's there. So the last design he sent me was mice in a chariot, or mice controlling a cane toad chariot. Oh my God. It's so cute. We have an entire little Australia cavalry of animals. It's so cute. I love it. I love it all. I love everything Australia. Oh, and of course cats. And the cats. There's no critter too tiny or weird or just Australia does keep on going to war with just things that they brought over. We're going to bring this over to fight off this animal, and now we're going to bring another animal over to fight the last one. I want to know what they're going to be like. Oh, we need, like, what's the, like, are they going to bring over hippos next? Like, that's, I think the next thing is they'll be like, oh, like, here's my theory. Here's my Australia zoology fanfic. Is I think that somebody is going to be like, all right, I don't want to cull the hippos that Pablo Escobar brought to South America. Instead, let's use them to get rid of the rabbits and the mice from Australia. It works out somehow. Somehow it'll work. And someone will be like, yeah, that's a plan. Let's do it. They could also work on the dromedary camels too, because they're also at war with the fucking dromedary camels. That's the thing I haven't gotten to writing about yet. But indeed, Australia, somebody brought over fucking dromedary camels. I don't know what the dromedary part means. But yeah, camels. That's a thing. Australia. That is perfect, Kevin. Australia is the little old. Hold on a second. Let me get this off the screen. Australia is the little old woman who swallowed a fly. Yep. Perfect. Everybody has an opinion on everything and every non-thing today. Let's see. I haven't thought about the matter, therefore I refuse to give an uninformed opinion. I did that once when I was working at a lab, and somebody asked me what my thoughts were on immigration, and I it's not that I didn't have thoughts on it, I just didn't have like a solution. And this was 2010ish, like a decade ago. I was younger. I didn't have it's not that I didn't have thoughts, I just didn't have any coherent enough thoughts to give anything useful. And I said it as much, and he looked at me like, how dare you? You're trying to dodge the conversation. And not that Vincent is watching this, but Vincent, what the fuck? Like, it was just very strange to me that I couldn't say an honest, I don't know, I don't have a well enough, a thought put together opinion to hand it to you and say, here's, let's throw this together. That's all we need. Hippo. No, it's like, there's someone who listened to that and they're like, yes, let's add the hippos. Do it. No, don't. Let's say, Cybabe not seeing many responses against it. That will work for me. Yeah, it's nobody objected. All in favor of the hippos. Aye, we do it. We strike it down with the hippos. It'll happen. No. No. They're cute when turned into, like I when I first heard that there were toads used for purses, I was horrified. But number one, there are so fucking many of them. Number two, who am I to judge what you do with your ridiculously high number of purses or of toads for purses? And number three, when last I was in Australia for to give a talk at Skepticon, when I was at the airport, there were kangaroo balls for keychains and for bottle openers, and I took a picture and posted it on SciBabe, and y'all went nuts and were like, you have to get one. And so now for the last few years I've been the creepy girl with kangaroo ball keychain, but look, I can always find my keys in my purse, so who's laughing now? Who's the weirdo creep now, huh? Who's the weirdo creep? But yeah, like I it makes me think, all right, whatever I thought about the toads being weirdos or the toad purse being weird, you gotta do something with them. It's just as weird as a lucky rabbit's foot. And I mean, I know that this joke has been made a zillion times, but I'm going to do it too. Who is the rabbit foot lucky for? It's definitely not the rabbit. But let's see, scrolling down. Nutria fur coats. We could solve so many of our problems if we just turned if we managed to get the nutria to catch on as food in this country. But let's quickly talk about the diet that hold on, I did not see, like, I was shocked when I saw how fast it was getting it was getting likes and comments and whatnot, because I am bad at judging how well a subject is going to do. Like, it's so far still the best, the column that's done the best out of all of them, pardon me, was Lonnie Johnson, because I'm so happy that the article that's done the best was a feel good story. It was a story about a Black NASA engineer who runs a bunch of businesses and who made our childhoods all fucking magical, and there's no sadness in the story. It makes me happy that it's just a really good story. That's the best performing one. But then they're like all over the place. Some, like, one of the ones that did really well was a story of Typhoid Mary, but also so many people wanted to yell because they're like, that's not how I remembered the story. I'm like, yeah, well, I fact checked it. Sorry. But yeah, scrolling, oh man. Whew, it's only been about an hour and there are 2.7k likes and 674 comments. People be fucking mad about that one. Whoo, boy. Just gonna take that and just drop that right over there. We're not gonna look at it. But look, here's the thing about intermittent fasting. Just like every diet, the way it helps you lose weight is by caloric restriction. Oh my god. That's totally a thing I've never said before. What? But here's the thing. I also, in that article that people are so mad about, I also said that it can lower your insulin levels, which is a thing that everyone's pointing, the people that are very pro intermittent fasting, they're all going in the comments, what you're saying is not true, SciBabe. It can lower insulin levels. I totally just tripped over my words on that. Please forgive me. But it's interesting that the thing everyone's pointing out that this diet can do is the exact thing that I said it could do. It's just people are drastically overstating I think it has been overstated how much that affects your health. The other thing is, we don't know what the overall effects the overall effects from these interesting little metabolic effects affects your. I'm saying affect way too much. We don't know what this does to people's health long term, is the punchline to it. So, like, it's kind of neat that insulin levels drop. Like, it's neat that we see these effects in smaller animals. But here's one of the things that people don't take into account when they're like, oh yeah, it had this effect in mice. A lot of you guys know what I'm going to say next, and I'm sure you do. I'm waiting to see if anyone will drop it on the in the comment section, but I also know there's a slight delay. Oops. But here's the problem with everyone citing these studies saying, look at all the things it can do. in mice. How many of those studies have ever been shown to translate? Exactly, Renee. We are not mice. Kelly, I am you. Kelly, you are. Actually, Kelly, it's the internet. I don't know you're not a mouse. I'll take your word on it, though. But no, it's like, it's these studies, vast majority mice. So these long-term health effects in mice, the long-term, like, it's, we see much greater reductions in inflammatory markers, that all the stuff that we're like, this is fantastic. Kevin Atkins, we're good. I'm glad. Hey, it just shows me that I have such a broad audience that I've managed to get mice in my audience. I'm so happy with this. Could you put in a word with Mr. Disney? It's are you friends with Mickey? Maybe Minnie? Anyways, but yeah, I look at the need, people's need for this diet to work a certain way. And it's not enough for them that it works. It has to work the way that they were told, that it worked in the way they were sold on it, in order for it to be all right. And why? Why isn't it just enough for you that the diet worked? It's like, if you lost weight on intermittent fasting, I said in it's someone just said, in my uninformed opinion, you were kind of weird. Like, dude, you don't even need to have an informed opinion. I'm sitting in an attic in Los Angeles with a purple wig on, talking at a computer screen, hoping of electronics get that signal out to people. Yeah, I'm weird. Obviously, there's a cartoon of me right above my head. Like, that's, if you're normal and there's a cartoon of you, that's strange. But anyways, back to this. This is there's a problem with the way that people relate to their diets. Like, it's, like, people look at their diets as though this has to be the answer to nutrition. It's not the answer. And I mean, I get that, as someone who I would say most of my life I've spent very overweight. I'm only now at a point where I've been at a healthy, weight for an extended period of time. It's Russell said, if that wig's purple, my connection is worse than I thought. It's like, it's like it's not like bright purple at all. It's like this you can only, in person, you can see that it's an ashy purple. It does not look purple on my screen either. So don't worry. You're not having eye problems, Russell, and your connections. I don't know. Maybe your connection sucks, but it's probably fine. It's probably fine. But anyways, let's see, where was I? But yeah, like, I understand the need to find the diet that's right. Like, oh, this one, it's not just that it works, it's that it's right, and that it works because of this thing. And I can't have anyone, I can't have anyone say otherwise, because if the magic of the diet is broken, the spell breaks, and Cinderella's shoe falls off, and Prince Charming's going to know, and I'm going to gain all the way. It's like, I get that, as someone who, again, I've been, I've been bigger, and you want, like, that's, you do kind of, like, you get attached to whatever diet you're doing, and you do kind of want it to work, because, like, there's almost this weird thing where if you find out that it's just the calories, you'll cheat on your diet. And I say that having been a person who, when I found out, like, keto, or no, I was doing Atkins, not keto, which is slightly different. I'm pretty sure I found out, like, when I found out there was no magic in it, I was much more tempted to cheat on it. Like, how fucking sad is that? Like, there was, and I mean, that's why, like, I don't do quote diets anymore. Like, it's just all calories in, calories out to me. But, like, someone could look at that and go, that's still a diet, but, like, I look at, sorry. I look at the reaction, and I think this is just because, we're so attached. We're so attached to the thing that we're like, we thought this would work. Like, we were hoping this would be the thing that would fix it, would be the, the end all. And being told it's not can hurt us. It sucks to have to rework in our brain how a diet works. But, like, I guess what bothers me is that I said in the article that it has some interesting metabolic effects, and if it works for you, keep doing it. And people are still like, "Mah! Meh, meh, meh. Someone's gonna gif that, I'm sure of it. That's gonna be my that'll be my ending stamp on the internet. But it's I see that I see that you guys are discussing the. I'll post a picture of this later. It does not look like describing. It's like this very ashy lilac-y color in person. So that's I don't know. It doesn't look strawberry at all in person. I don't know how else to describe it. But like my lipstick also doesn't look its normal color. Like things are looking a strange color with the mix of lights on me, and I'm not sure how that's happening. Um, yeah. So, anyways, I should have seen the reaction coming to that article because, of course, let's see, like it's I see someone commenting about reading "Health at Every Size" from Linda Bacon, and it. I have opinions on Linda Bacon and the health at every size movement. And here's the thing: like there is a huge need for body positivity movement. Absolutely. The thing is, health at every size as a whole, it started off as a really good idea, and has moved on to something that I think it was Yumento. It's violet. There we go. That's the right color. And here's the thing: it went from a movement that was good and necessary, and still has. I want to be clear, still has a lot of really good advocates and a lot of really good ideas. Me have opinions. Shocking, I know. But went from something that was really, really fun. Oh, I missed my own mother entering in here. Oh my God, Simon has entered the chat. As you can tell, I'm highly distracted today. But anyway, where was I before I so rudely interrupted myself? To where it's where was I? Where was I? Somewhere on the. Somebody please help me get back on track here. Hold on a. Oh, Hayes, there we go. It's husbands in the room. Yay. So anyways, Hayes, here's the thing. And now it's kind of, I'm not the only person who's had this kind of encounter. My friends who also write about diets have had these issues. And when I say encounters, I want to be clear. We're all very body positive. I've changed how I write about diets so that it's more body conscious, so that it's much more conscious of the way that that people can react to it. I want to make sure that I'm inclusive and that and that it's and that people are not that people don't feel in any way that that my writing about nutrition is pushing them away and saying you can only be interested in nutrition if you want to lose weight or if you want to be thin. And that's something that I have adjusted in how I was talking about how awesome the Mentos are. The Mentos are awesome. It's very awesome. I'm a big fan of the Mentos. Anyways, but I was talking because look, Akiko, I'm just the interruptions are gonna keep happening. It's just a thing that's gonna keep going on. And anyways, back to Hayes. So I have changed the way I've approached writing about diets over the years, partially because of some people pushing in the Hayes movement, which is not a bad thing. However, it's become so difficult to write about diets without anything you say being construed as promoting an eating disorder, which that's kind of that's not acceptable. Like I can't be expected to never write about dietary science and nutrition science. Like I can't completely kowtow to a group that everything they say is like it's almost like anything you do to change your diet. Like if you do any sort of dietary restriction whatsoever, it's a form of an eating disorder, and that is obviously not something that everyone in Hayes believes, but that is something that I've seen promoted by a number of practitioners in the movement. And that's a problem because there are times when it's the appropriate thing for somebody to try to lose some weight, medically speaking. And like I've seen someone who was a Hayes practitioner, who was a dietitian, who'd gotten very ardent about don't ever cut a certain thing out of your diet, don't ever don't ever count calories, was very ardently against it, started to have health problems and refused to was very ardent. Like this was again a friend of mine. Refused to cut calories, like in her discussions with her doctor, and eventually, agreed to go on a walking program. But this person was a dietitian, knew everything there was to know, about food and dietetics. Wouldn't do the thing that her doctor you know, wanted Hayes, health at every size, HAES. But it's, and I mean, look, I want to be clear. I'm not against body positivity. I wish I'd had a little bit of that growing up when I was, very, very overweight and kids were just, I was the fat kid in class, like the fat kid in class. And that was fucking hard. Like it's not like I wish that I'd had a little bit of what people are asking of me and what I've had to adjust to in my writing. But I also wish that we could approach this with a little bit more nuance and say, hey, be nicer in how you're writing about this, but also I'm gonna listen to the science that's coming out of this when you're writing about it in the terminology that's not causing discomfort. And there's somewhere to meet in the middle there. And I'm happy to meet people at a place that, and try to make the words, make a subject that is uncomfortable and hard to talk about and hard to write about, because it was never all that comfortable for me to deal with when I was bigger. It's still something that I have to balance in my own head and in my own life. But I want, I really want people to know that even if, even if it's hard to look at the numbers, even if dealing with the effects of weight is mentally taxing, right? Sometimes, and it is. I know it is. Like the number of times in my life I have cried seeing the number on the scale, or from not fitting into a pair of pants, or whatever. Like between society and everything else, it's fucking shitty. But there's also science behind it, and we're not here to pick on you or tell you how you're supposed to look. We're here to talk about the science of nutrition. I think you all look fabulous. If anything, I think you need more cheesecake. So there's a difference between the vet that wants to write cheesecake recipes and the vet that knows exactly what's happening to her health every time she eats cheesecake. So there's my ramble on the two things. But I find that a lot of times people who are promoting health at every size are cherry picking are cherry picking their science, and that deeply bothers me, because they are presenting themselves as health experts, and some of them do have health degrees, but especially, and this really deeply again bothers me, because again it's hard, because they are giving people something that they deeply need and that they deserve from the diet and fitness people. She's giving people the comfort and telling them that they that they should have been treated better in the fitness movement. There are people in diet and fitness that will that treat people with the sensitivity, and by telling them that telling them, as should have been happening all along, you're a human first. The weight is a secondary thing. Like, this is not, you're not your weight. Like, but I find here's something that I'm gonna end the whole Hayes ramble on this one last thing. I find it odd and somewhat uncomfortable that I've seen a lot of the of justify or of saying, you're not your body, a person, you're yourself first. You're, every, like, this is just the vessel that my personality is existing in. And it's, it's like, there's this combination of thoughts happening where it's like body second, and then also trying to say, I'm attracted. Like, here, let me rephrase this. I want to make sure this comes out right. I find it. I wish that attractiveness was not the focus of the body positivity movement, because I find sometimes that it can accidentally end up using other people's bodies to validate ourselves. And I'm going to give you the example I see a lot of times, and this is a more of a woman thing than a man thing. I will see some sometimes overweight women in the in the Hayes movement say, I'm obviously like look at me, I'm obviously attractive, these hot thin men want to date me. And I'm like, I feel like you just, after saying I'm not my or I'm not my body, I'm my personality, I'm all this, the next out of their mouths, the next thing is, of course I'm attractive, this stereotypically attractive person wants to date me. And it's like, again, not everyone, not the entire movement, but it does at times reduce other people to their attractiveness levels to try to validate or try to figure out who they are, and it's bothered me deeply at times because when I was younger there wasn't a body positivity movement. And then when I got older and needed hopefully someone to be nice to me ever about my body, when I lost weight, all I got was women telling me that I was wrong for wanting to lose weight. I was finally healthy. I finally looked the way I wanted to, and I got a lot of women being very mean to me about it from the Hayes movement. And I don't need there's no don't worry, I'm fine. I understand that it is shitty to go through life as a fat person because I have been there, done that, gotten all the fucking bullying that I need from it. So I wish that that instead of trying to go through this fat person skinny person thing, we would just perhaps stop putting people into these categories and start just treating them like the assholes they all are. Because don't worry, whether you're fat, skinny, whether you support the Hayes movement or you think body positivity is a crock of shit, no matter what size you are, we can all be assholes. Anyways, I know that rant is kind of going off the rails, but it's bothered me for a bit now, especially like I said, the comment somebody I think said body neutrality. I know that Ness, my friend who runs Insufferably Intolerant Science blog, she posted a thing on body neutrality a little bit ago, and I really appreciated that because, again, it's not it's not that that I want everyone to it's not that we still need body positivity. We need you need to feel okay about yourself to get the fuck out the door in the morning. Like, obviously, it's why I throw on 18 layers of makeup and glitter on my eyelids and wigs and kitty ear glasses. I need to feel okay about myself in the morning, as does everyone of any and every size. That's part of it. But we don't have to keep making it about everyone at X size is beautiful. Like, it's we don't need to keep validating our bodies. We don't need to validate our bodies. We don't need to use other people's bodies to validate our bodies. We don't need to validate our bodies at all. We're all fine. We're fine. We're just fucking fine. So, anyways, that's fine. So there's no, there we go. Star said it perfectly. The problem is the moral judgment is placed on being overweight. Thank you. And that's one other little, ramble that I will stub my toe on. Cause I lost nearly 100 pounds and I felt great about myself. I felt, I gave myself that moral judgment that, yeah, I beat the weight problem. I'm a good person. Look at me. I'm better. I beat it. I'm good. Look at me now, society. But you know what? Did someone just say I'm slut shaming? Oh no, I'm very pro slut. Like, we're pro slut in this house. I'm extremely. It's in my younger life, I was a very slutty person, and I'm very pro slut here. Anyways, but I was. It's. Tacitus Low said, when I was fat, I disliked bullying, but the people who told me I was fine the way I was and not to worry about losing weight were much. That was hard to deal with, because it was like, as soon as I started losing weight, the number of people who couldn't, it was like nobody told me, it's like nobody ever nobody ever said to me, stay fat healthfully, but they did have to tell me to lose weight healthfully. Like, that was the thing that everyone had to let me know was, oh, are you doing it healthfully? Like, it's like, well, go ahead and lose weight, but as long as you do it healthfully. I'm like, dude, I'm 90 pounds overweight right now. Like, anything I do at this point other than cocaine would probably be a better idea. But I'm kidding. You guys know I'm like, I don't have to. But like, that was a strange thing that kept happening over and over again. You're doing it healthy, right? I'm like, all right. Honest question: is there any peer-reviewed science debunking correlation between weight and health? I don't know if debunking is the right phrase for this, but like, here's the thing: there's like correlation between weight and health. Now, weight is not the right measure we want. Oh, so here's I know I'm stuttering, going over myself a few times. So let's talk a little bit about weight, BMI, body fat, and health. So most I know a lot of people. BMI is the thing that makes us all a little cranky, a little nervous. BMI is an imperfect tool to measure health. It is relatively accurate. Don't get nervous. It is relatively accurate in the average white person who is not in shape, who's not a bodybuilder. Once you get people who are bodybuilders, once you get out of the white race, once you get too far removed, because of course, race is a construct, blah, blah, blah. Things get a little heady because there are other races, of course, that have different musculature that have, there's just, anyways, it is a highly imperfect measurement. However, there are a lot of people who are not big fans of BMI. And this is just, again, seen a handful of studies on this because I was curious and wanted to know. Far more people who are not fans of the BMI scale, the BMI is an accurate reflection of if they are, quote, overweight or not, than people would like to be true. I say that, myself included. BMI is for measuring populations on individuals. I mean, that's not completely inaccurate. But here's the thing: like, I want to make something clear though. Like, if the BMI scale says that like 151 pounds you're overweight and 150 you're not, like that 1 pound doesn't suddenly change the state of your health. Okay, like don't look at it as the end all be all. Like BMI is just, it's kind of used as, all right, well, here's where people generally have X percentage of body fat. Here's where people can start to be at risk for X, Y, and Z. So it's kind of used as a tool along with everything else in your system. So BMI is completely useless without all your other measurements. It's just kind of all right, so they're this, say someone is this, this age, this weight, this BMI, this whatever. Okay, so let's have a look at, it's like they're at a BMI that says they're quote fine. That doesn't tell a doctor anything without all their other measurement, without without checking their blood, without checking their blood pressure, without checking all their listening to their lungs, because maybe their BMI is fine but they've got a tumor. Like, that's not the only fucking thing. So their BMI is useful, but it's also not the only thing by a long shot. So anyways, I just saw someone, have you heard about, it's God that just scrolled on my screen. Have I heard the poodle theory? I missed it. Oh my God, does this make context is important? Yes, it is. Now I'm probably more like, I don't know if pro BMI is the right way to phrase it. But let's see, as a weightlifter, my BMI says I should yeah, I mean, weightlifters are like the notorious exception when it comes to BMI being accurate. BMI is particularly misleading for athletes, especially highly muscled athletes. Like the more like your emu bunny shirt arrived. My emu bunny shirt is hanging in the other room. I also have the Tales from the War Front sweatshirt. I love it so much. I love my emus and my bunnies. Do you think that there's a difference in how weight affects you due to how it's gained? For example, someone gaining weight due to cake versus being on steroid free. Yeah, well, I mean, you're gaining different so correlation is less. Hold on a second. I have you all expanded out to being full screen, and I cannot scroll back down through comments on full screen. So hold on a second. Whew, so many questions, and I want to get to all of them. Let's see. If you can, let's see, shoot me the Nadine. Show me. I don't know if it's Nadine or Nadine, but it's either way. Shoot me the poodle theory over at thesybabe@gmail.com, and I'll have a peek at it. Let's see, poodle science. It feels like haze. Yeah, it's. Here's the thing I've learned with the bullshits. Generally, if it feels like a bullshitty thing, it's probably the bullshitty thing. But I'm always interested in having a look at it and having a look at all of the psychological things that went into it. Let's try to scroll back through a few things. Now, the thing. Let's see. So I saw someone asking, all right, how in terms of how weight's gained, eating cake for a year versus steroid. Now, steroid weight gain, like there are a lot of other things that are happening if someone gains weight on steroids, because obviously they're screwing with their hormones, and I don't know in in the event, like I don't know enough about the various effects of steroids on someone's body, and if they're, if someone is taking steroids in a way that's quote responsible or not, and I don't know if there's even a way to do that responsibly, and I shouldn't, nah, I don't know, but I'm just saying, yeah, like being quote overweight from being highly muscled is obviously a very different thing for your health than being overweight from carrying excess body fat, and it affects your arteries, your heart, your lungs very differently. So when I look at that, I always think, what's it doing to my heart and my lungs? Is it making my heart and my lungs pump, work harder to get oxygen everywhere that it has to? And that's the way that I think about when I think about excess body fat, and I think about what it's doing to me. I don't think numbers on a scale. I don't think societal. A doctor in the 1800s in Belgium put this onto a thing to because and we're stuck with it now. I don't think about whatever the societal shit is about BMI. The main thing that I think about is, what is this fat? What is? Do I have a healthy level of fat in my body for to maintain all the things that my body needs? Because your body does, is you're better off having some fat on you. You need a little. It's women need a little more than men too. Like, we're not supposed to be 0% fat here. we're supposed to have a little padding. Like I think it might have been the emus I was writing about, that it was one of the things they said was, yeah, they store extra fat, and then when they're sitting on the nest, they and they store that extra fat for times when there's not as much food available, and they lose a bunch of their body weight when they're not eating. I'm like, just like every other species loses their body weight when they're not eating. Like, we can lose a bunch of our body weight if we don't eat for 9 months too, but we shouldn't fucking do it. But that's the thing, is like, we are designed to gain and lose weight when we have more or less access to food. It's just, we always have access to food right now, which is a good thing. But our brains are not designed to understand how to fucking manage constant access to calories. So we have to sort that out. And I don't think it's a moral. I saw someone congratulate me on losing the weight, which I appreciate. But also, I want to be clear on this. I worked out a lot, but also part of the main reason I was successful, and I've said this before, is that I was put on Topamax for my headaches, and it cut the shit out of my appetite. Now, I ate a lot healthier, and I ran a couple of marathons, but there is almost now, and I lost bits of weight here and there. And here's the thing: I also regained and relost without the effects of the Topamax, but I don't think there's that I would have initially lost that weight if I hadn't been on Topamax, and I don't think that it's responsible to talk about this without mentioning that. Like, and I'd said it before online. Like, this is not a thing that I've been hiding for all these years, but like, part of the reason I mentioned that is because I want people to understand. That's why I say it's hard, because I didn't just suddenly wake up and know how to stop shoveling food into my mouth. Like, one day I got the worst headache of my life, and they put me on a drug for it that also happened to shut my appetite down. And it was like the first medication that helped my headaches. And it also happened to shut my appetite down, which was a very strange thing, to be sick as hell, have a headache that was killing me all the time, and suddenly not have, have everybody think that I am healthier because I was thin. It was very strange to be, and like, that was the worst part of it. Is that I was sicker than I'd ever been in my life. I mean, like, inside I was fine, but like, I was much Topamax indeed. I was like, fine, but the thing that caused it, that tipped it all off, was I got this headache. I felt like hell constantly because my head hurt. Yep, it is used for seizures. But like, I think that people need to understand, like, this is why when people say When people say, oh, they took the easy way out and got gastric bypass, or I'm all in favor of people who have had long-term difficulties with losing weight using medically aided or medically assisted weight loss. Like if you have long-term difficulty in losing over, I believe over 50 to I know over 100 pounds is the standard for gastric bypass. I'm not sure what the standard is for some types of medical weight loss, or for medically aided weight loss with medications. But like there's Cybabe says we need to do Cybabe always says you need to do allegedly. But yeah, it is used for seizures. Let's see, Topamax help with migraines. That I got a CSF leak. Ooh, sheesh. But look, I'm just gonna say last thing about the Topamax. Let's see. Homo sapiens evolved over millennia to survive famine. Yeah. Our brains are wired to go seek out the calories. So like I wish that like I sincerely wish that we would stop judging people when they do what would have made us very successful when we were running around on the plains not that long ago, in need of those hard to find calories before agriculture happened. So it's so yeah, just please, be a little kinder when remembering that calories are just a thing that we used to not be able to get access to regularly. Our brains want them. And again, I was only successful more like maybe I would have maybe I would have found a way to eat that made my appetite happy without the Topamax. But you know what? There's it's why I look at weight loss and go, I will tell you everything I know about it, but I will also tell you that it's fucking hard. And I hate it when, people who write about diets and who are diet gurus don't just admit that diets are hard because calories are delicious. Like why did I gain weight back at some, like, cause I lost 100, gained back 50, re-lost the 50, and I've kept the 50 off for a good long time. And I'm very happy about that. Like I've kept all of it off the second time much better than I did the first time. And it's partially because my plan the first time was based on just unending hours of exercise, way too much exercise. Now I walk sometimes, not as much as I should. But yeah, just, it's hard. It's fucking hard. And I think that if you're getting your advice on diets from somebody that won't be straight with you on the fact that that it's difficult and that not every diet is for everyone, and that if you don't succeed at X, Y, or Z plan, then A, B, and C plan is out there, and maybe you'll find a thing that works for you in A, B, and C, and that it's fine to not have the thing that you try first work. Like I didn't succeed at finding what worked for me until I got the worst headache of my life. And it turned out, and here's the funny thing, like it's within that, like I tried different ways of eating, even when I was on Topamax. And even then I was able to gain back 50 pounds. Had to rework how I ate after that. So it's not easy. It's not. And so I really, like I said, the body positivity movement, really helpful. The Health at Every Size movement has some good things in it, telling you no matter what size you're at, healthful behaviors are good to pick up whether or not your goal is weight loss. It's the part of Hayes that says don't ever try to lose weight. And last comment on that, BMI, not the end all be all, not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Anyways, scrolling through, liking food, it's like liking sex. We're hardwired for it. Well, hello. Sorry, I just looked down at hey, hello, Megan. Don't worry. There will we have some asexuals in the comments who would like to have a word. How old was I when I got that headache? I was a few months shy of 26. It was March 7th it was either March 7th or 8th. I have to look at the calendar, but it was the Sunday, so it might have it was the 8th. I think it was March 8th of 2010. So it's been it's been over 11 years now of having a headache every day of my life. And aren't I just a delight for it? I'm so nice. I'm so sweet. Never in a bad mood. Never even in a slightly bad mood. And I wake up every day of my life and right away I need to take headache medication. I'm just saying, If ever you're in a bad mood for having a headache for like 2 hours, just remember I wake up every day with it. Every day. I haven't killed anyone that they found yet. I'm ace, but that doesn't stop me from liking orgasms alone with others. I approve of that. It's that is a question I have about asexuality, but I don't feel it would be appropriate for me to start grilling people in my comment section. So that is a thing I will look around for. It's glad a few people caught the yet on that. Look, I have a master's in forensic science. If ever I were to have need of disposing of a body, I would be very disappointed in myself if I got that whole ass degree and was unable to successfully hide a body. Like that, I would just be like, take my degree back. What did you guys? It's fire all the teachers. Just this is not nah. It's I did something wrong. Mm-mm. I did not deserve this degree. It's my theory. It's Ryan Blackhawk just said lie. I admit to nothing for that being my that's actually not my plan for how to get rid of the bodies. Other direction with the acidity levels. That's just a hint. Hydrochloric acid. Anyways, down in bathtubs. That's just what I'm saying. So, anyways, make sure your bathtub's strong enough for it. Just moving swiftly past that. Scrolling through, probably just an excuse to say, hey, I see Nadine saying probably just an excuse to say, Chubby, that look, I say, I do not think that deciding to stay bigger means one is being lazy. I think it's just saying, nah, this sounds like misery. Dieting is not easy. It's uncomfortable. It can just nah. Oh, I see someone saying Lane Norton probably has an opinion. Lane Norton has a lot of opinions. Some of them are dumb. I mean, he's really good at picking stuff up and putting it down. Some of his other opinions, though, I tell him that to his face, too. Topamax helped me function somewhat normally for several... Yeah, I mean, it was... Like, here's the thing. I was on... And if anyone... For those of you who have been on Topamax, you'll probably be like, what? At my highest dosage, I was on... Now, for headaches, they start people off... Like, the lowest dose of this is 25 milligrams a day. It's also used for epilepsy, and it's a fairly common migraine medication. It's also used for whatchamacallit, for cluster headaches. And originally they thought I had cluster headaches because they didn't even bother sending me to a neurologist. They just let my general practitioner handle it. I'm so angry. But they thought I had cluster headaches, and they commonly try Topamax for cluster headaches. And it was one of the first things they tried me on. And they were just so happy that I was losing weight that they didn't bother looking at the fact that I was in miserable pain. But I was at first on 25 milligrams, and they just kept upping it as long as I was like, well, this seems to work better every time, put me on more of it. At one point, I was on 400 milligrams. For a while, I was on 400 milligrams a day of Topamax. And I'm a chemist, and I had to function doing chemistry every day on a drug that a lot of people refer to as Dopamax, because they're like, yeah, this knocked out about 20 IQ points. So, yep, use for treatment of bipolar disorder as well. Indeed, it's also a off-label as a mood stabilizer. Now, there are mixed reports on how well it works as a mood stabilizer, but it's still prescribed for that. There are a handful of drugs that even after, I find this very interesting, even after studies have come back saying, yeah, you've been using it off-label for this, but it doesn't seem to actually work for that. The doctors have just been told, yeah, keep prescribing it for that. Brain drugs are weird. Brain drugs are very weird. Let's see. People are discussing how they're going to get away with murder. I was on 400 milligrams of Topamax and doing chemistry. I was doing chemistry just fine. Eventually, I was like, I would like to be able to use words again. I think it only got really bad when they put me on 400 milligrams of that. Plus, they were like, let's just put you on all of the gabapentin, all of it. That was then I started getting jittery, and I couldn't gabapentin. I got to admit, gabapentin's fun because it makes me feel drunk without alcohol. But I don't particularly enjoy feeling drunk. But no, gabapentin was real. Like if ever just something really fucking the head is just this is dying, gabapentin will knock it out really quickly. Oh yeah, the aphasia is the worst part of it. So if you guys, so there was this episode of House. I want to say it was either first or second season. That I must have seen this episode a zillion times. And this guy was on Topamax, and he was a writer. And he kept on saying like crazy things, like I couldn't tackle the bear, and just he was on he was on it for by the end of the episode they were like, oh, he's on it for his secret bipolar disorder, and but the entire episode he has aphasia that they attributed to his secret stash of Topamax that he was using to hide his for his secret case of bipolar disorder. It was all very weird, but like the way that aphasia works when you've got Topamax, or when you're on Topamax, like you just sit there like an idiot trying to find words. Like whenever I sit here going give me a second, I was never like that before Topamax. And I mean, it's been a decade now, so I don't know how much of this I mythologizing, and I actually was this bad at words beforehand. But like, I remember this starting and being like, it's like you'd be able to see the word. You could kind of like, you knew it was you'd be able to see the starting letter, the first letter of it, and it was like you had the shape of the word in your head, and like a half an hour later, you'd be like, oh yeah, aardvark, it would come out, and it's like, or you'd grab you'd grab a word that sounded like it. There was one day, the first time that I realized, oh, this is going to be a problem. I was visiting a friend and I left my shoes in her garage. And you'll say a word, like I said, that's related to it or that sounds like it, or you just can't find it. And I said to her, hey, I need to go get my shoes out of the giraffe. I've had a lot of need to get my shoes out of the giraffe moments in the last decade. So like when I talk about being chronically ill, like this is there are, like I have my headache that I have to deal with. I have my occasional rib dislocations that I have to deal with, but fuck, these are the little things that you don't think about when you're like, oh, like, it's like, I think this is part of the reason why I was so determined not to get COVID. I know this sounds like a really big jump, but like with everything that happens to your health, with every like, oh, I've got another condition, it means there's another medication. It means there's another side effect to a medication. It means there's another thing that can affect just a little fucking moment of your day that you don't get back, that is now ceded to the medication, to the illness. And it's not yours anymore. You have to share that. That part of your life is yours and the disease. And it's like, I can do that. If I can avoid getting another fucking thing wrong with me, I'm going to avoid it. So like, that was part of the reason why I'm like, I'm going to hide in this attic and hopefully these nice people will put up with me for the next handful of months. I was going to hang out in this attic with you nice folks. But yeah, if you're chronically ill, like you get your illness, and then you get you get your second illness, and the second illness is all the side effects of the medications. Like, and I'm going to say this half jokingly, guys, I don't want to smoke all this pot. I just do it because my meds make me nauseous. Yeah, that's totally the reason. I mean, I do that too, but like, but no, pot. I'm the amount of grateful I am that pot knocks out the nausea from my other medications is it's high. Yep. David, I am dubious. I would probably not smoke pot during the day if it didn't help with my other with the other illnesses. But man, I so want to play Sky Poker with you. I have not played poker, and I don't remember. Like I think I played poker when I was 10. But that was the thing that a bunch of my classmates and I were doing because gambling was all the rage with a bunch of Catholic school 5th graders. Yep, totally. It's, anyways. I think we're getting closer to wrapping this up soon. There's some happy, playful Friday night energy happening. I want to milk this for all I can. Just a reminder before it's I realized we didn't do this last time, and this is very important. Subscribe to my Patreon. Anyways, I do weed anyway, but I would like the freedom of not having to be stoned when I don't or can't. It's I I think that is a good point that a lot of people don't realize. Uh, if you're it's do Amazon contributions apply towards, but just sign up for my Patreon. You do not need to send me shit over Amazon. As much as I appreciate it, just come over to Patreon. Like it's way more worth it. Like, and it's as much as I love, and I mean sincerely, the amount of stuff you guys have sent me and my family and my housemates, and I say that because I hope you understand I have not eaten all this candy on my own, has made lockdown not suck. It's just been, like I live with a bunch of musicians who have had, a rough go because there's nothing open, nowhere to do gigs. So being able to share candy with everyone during Patreon, you do get special screen licks during those special two streams a month for you guys. And if you want in on those special screen licks, come join my Patreon. And also, of course, we're having ourselves a little drawing in which we're getting a bunch of really neat stuff from Withings, giving away two of these neat blood pressure as I just drop Diet Coke bottles all over we're giving away these two of these really nifty blood pressure cuffs, two of the watches, and two of the scales. And I found out something after I started this from Patreon that I cannot do you have to sign up for Patreon in order to in order to be entered in the raffle thing. So basically, we're gonna be doing one of these. There are quote more rules to this, but it's basically after you're signed up for Patreon, there are the details are on Patreon. I need to double check with them over on Patreon to see if I have to just have it listed on Patreon, but open to the public to enter. But yeah, either way, just come over to Patreon. That way you'll get the email when the raffle it's when the giveaway is. We're giving away so much stuff. I'm sending out personalized little postcards, and some of the postcards are they're on another shelf, but half the postcards are of this adorable emu bunny. Look at this. So many emus, so many bunnies with riding crops. But that I'm on my birthday on July 8th. You guys are getting some presents. The nice folks at Withings that sent me an adorable watch that again I'm an idiot and I didn't put it back on after I was crocheting. I'm so happy with my Withings watch. Like they sent it to me to test out, and I know I told you guys about it last week when I had Ari here with me, and now that I saw him in the chat, like, cause he was a fan of my silliness here before he came on. But it's like I tested out all the products for a month before I agreed with that to promote them and to do a giveaway with them, because I'm like, I don't even want to use a product for a giveaway that I haven't said I use myself and that I really do use. But man, the Withing stuff is seriously good quality, and I'm thrilled that they reached out, because it's a thing where I'd seen it online before and I'd seen other friends using it, and it was just they're gorgeous products, and I'm like, all right, I wanted both a fitness watch and just a pretty watch. Like I didn't want a fitness watch that looked like a fitness watch, and so when they reached out and were like, yeah, here's a kiss Ari's ass a little harder. Shush, Russell. But yeah, I'm just saying, if kissing his ass a little more gets more things to give away to you guys, cool. But no, I've talked to Ari and another woman who works there, Susan, and they're very sweet. It's been great getting to know them. But no, like I said, I really wanted a watch that was a nice looking watch and a good fitness watch. But I was surprised how much I liked it, because you guys might remember a few years ago somebody sent me a watch that was like, it's a fitness watch that measures how many calories you've taken in, and I never promoted it here for a reason. It did not pass the "are you fucking kidding me? This really works?" It did not test, and I felt like I think I did like an initial review of it, but like I never even I did not end up putting it out here, because it was just like they always send me a link to, oh, and I need to get the link fixed. Ari, if you're still watching, my link to them works, but it kind of gives me a what's it called? It gives me like Withings associate credit. It does not give you a discount, which is the thing that I wanted to make sure was fixed before I posted out here. But yeah, no, Withings is just I was anyways. I feel hashtag blessed that they reached out, and I'm looking forward to giving away. Renee just said, "Wait, we get stuff now." It's giving away 6 Withings products total: two watches, 2 blood pressure cuffs, and 2 of their really fancy scales. That look, I'm just as much. As much as it pains me after I've had a few days of picking out to see that indeed it did affect me on the scale, it was good to like I like the scale as my few days of picking out stop sign and be like, hey, you got to cut that out occasionally. Like that's how I relate to the scale. Several days, I'll give myself several days of cheesecake, and then I will stop. So, anyways, all links are below. Anyways, if you, we're about up to that point in the day. It's all the links to all of my stuff is below. If you again, all of the giveaways are going to be. It's Russell saying we want Ari back. I don't kiss ass indiscriminately. We will have him back. We'll absolutely have him back. I like Ari. He's very sweet. I gotta check if we're gonna be for when I'm heading. Oh, guys, I'm heading home. Hold on a second, because I can't do days of the week. I'm heading home next week. So next time I see you guys, I will be hanging out with Simon. So I might end up having Simon as my guest next week. So that's super fucking exciting. It's before signing off, I just want to quickly thank you guys because I know a lot of you guys have said I don't want to overstate. Some of you guys, a couple of you have said that I got you guys through lockdown and the pandemic. You guys have done the same for me, and I know I've said before that I have to clench my butthole if I'm trying not to cry. It's a really good trick. If you ever feel like you're about to cry, just clench your butthole. Totally, I don't know if it like sucks the tears back in, but it totally works. Anyways, but like it's been a hard year for all of us, myself included, clenching my butthole so hard. And it's terrifying when your mom is 69, nice, and works in a pharmacy during a global pandemic. That even if like she's healthy as anything, like she's absurdly goddamn, she's as healthy as an emu after wars with Australia. Oh my god, called out. Anyways, she's goddamn healthy person. But even so, I was terrified because the number of times we'd heard about someone getting coughed on, and she was working in a pharmacy, and Jesus Christ. And my brother is an EMT who during, transported COVID patients, and he actually never had symptoms, but at one point I believe he tested positive for antibodies, and both he and his it's somehow he and his wife never had symptoms, but he tested positive for antibodies. So I really I hope that they got double dose of antibodies, no symptoms, and managed to and managed to get away without getting with asymptomatic cases for both of them. So that'd be fortunate if that was what happened. But started this off, and it was just like I was terrified that was like I'm staying here so that I don't catch it on the plane and give it to my mom, and I won't get to see my mom because I stayed away because of the pandemic, and something's going to happen to her. Like and we don't know how long it's going to be until there's a vaccine, and how you just don't know if you're making the right decisions when there's this long time scale and shit happens. And it was a long year. And I want to thank you guys for being here with me through this. Thank you guys for giving me a job. I mean, I wrote for other people before, and now I write for you. So thank you for supporting me on Patreon, of course. And, thank you guys for giving me a place to come and rant about whatever shit is on my mind a couple times a week. So it's been neat seeing a little community pop up. But it's been great. And I'm so excited that I get to go home and see my mom after this hell year. So thank you guys for being there for me. And I hope I I'm so excited to introduce you. I'm bringing you guys home to mom next week. I'm so excited. Anyways, oh, Mento, I'll make you cry. I'll do it. It's how will I make you cry? I'm trying to think of I no I can't I was trying to think of a funny like it's it's the designated hitter is a good idea. Like that's I was trying to think of something like completely off the like that'll just make you sad for my existence, but that was that's I whiffed. I'm sorry. Anyways, so thank you guys. It's been a lovely 90 minutes. I'm gonna do my Friday night calling of the Psy Mom, and then I think I'm gonna get super fucking high. That seems like a good Friday night to me. Anyways, I love you guys. Also, again, sign up for all the things. Sign up for Patreon. Sign up for Patreon. There are giveaways. Or if Patreon's just not your thing, I'll always take a one-time donation or a many-time donation, whatever you're up for, over at PayPal. And or of course, it's just if you just feel like sending me stuff, there's stuff on my list at Amazon. Like I've got an Amazon wish list. Send me candy. I'm I'm slutty like that. I'll take it any way you can send it. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you next week.